If you are a backend developer in JavaScript, you also use expressJS. And one question is always come to your mind: how to deploy this expressJS app with free of cost. If you go to the AWS, you need to pay, but in some case it is free for you. But you can host everything for, and you can access this application from outside, from Postman, and you can use this directly in this. For this case, you always come one question: when how to deploy this, like content. If you deploy content in Vercel, you can access a, you got also a link, and you can also see anywhere from the world. Okay, so today we will see how to deploy our backend application in Express.js to deploy in Vercel and render with free of cost. You do not necessarily to pay for this. Okay, first I will show how to deploy. I already have a expressJS application, that is zero coder chatbot, and if you go to GitHub and you change to .com to .dev, you also get a interface like VS Code. Okay, and here you can also get some functionality like VS Code, and you can see, and that is look like VS Code. And if you click on the folder, a file will be open. And if you go, let me see package.json. Here I am using expressjs .env and node nlp for nlp tasks, and I am using also Axios to making API call. All and NLP, just some NLP tasks is happening. I am making chatbot. You can also see my old video how to make chatbot using JavaScript if you interested. And here I am planning. I also implement some WhatsApp business API that help us to send and communication message or send simple message. And we also send button list that you also see in official chatbot WhatsApp in any like Geomart. There you also give the button anything. If you want to deploy your vessel application, you need to add vessel.json file, that is the main folder. If you want to deploy in vessel, if you use render, you do not need to pass vessel.json file. It is no necessary to pass like this file. If you see the Vercel.json, the main folder is app.json. How to define, that is source folder app.js. You run this code, you need to use Vercel/node. You need to use Vercel node, and app.js is the main folder. You need to see, and here I import express.js, and every express.js app is here. So I also share this Vercel.json in command, and you need to pass exactly this, and main file is app.js. Keep in your mind, okay, and everything okay. So let me deploy. Assume to log in to Vercel.com, and here I log in. After login, it will directly redirect to your dashboard. I already use it, so first you need to add new, and here I also connect my GitHub account with Vercel. So you need to access this chatbot, this repo, one click. Okay, so in one click product config and ready, then you can click on deploy. It is deploying. It take time to deploy. Okay, it is fast to build, and then directly it is deploy. So let me go to the render. It also support to deploy. I express this, so let me log in. I already have an account in render, so I will log into Google. You need, if you have not logged in before, so you need to first log in it, and then this application is deployed. Let me open and see how to deploy. Is not, it is deployed, it is showing. So let me test. Yes, it is working finally. So that app is deployed. Let me come to the render, and Vercel performance is not good as expected, but I already deployed is zero coder. Let me select, and we need to select web service, okay, for this case. And I already connect to the GitHub account with this account, so here you can get the repo, and you need to import directly, and you need to some change for your website. Here you give the name, same name will be, almost same name will be your website name. And here is chatbot 0. Okay, you can also select a reason, and you can select your branch, which one you want to deploy, and the to directory you can add. Okay, and then what is runtime, we use node and build command, that is in yarn. Okay, we also you also use in PMI, that is a build command, you know, that is installing a dependency, and from package.json. And the main starter command is node app.js. Okay, here I am using p version, RAM is 512 MB, and CPU 0.7 GPU. If you need to more CPU, then you need to pay. I am using for free of cost, so I am not taking any of this. So let me create web service. You need to select website. Something waiting. Okay, something error. Okay, that will be dot slash is default. It will take the main root directory, no problem. So it is okay, that is deploying, and that is the interface like almost like Docker image. This interface is looking nice, and if you is common is not complicated as, and it is simple. And if you go to the, if you also run the customize command Vercel, and after this deploying you can access this link in that is generated. Okay, it is deploying. First it is running command yarn, so you need to install all dependency folder first, and then it will build the optimized code that is necessary. Then after building optimized code, okay, then it will deploy, and let me wait for deploying. Be successful, and now it is deploying. So it will take almost 1 minute, then it will be deployed. Don't worry, wait. And if you want to set your environment variable, that will be secret, and that is almost if you use .env file, that is like, and you can also secret file that you keep secret, and no one can access is this file. For there is some important key you can access. And from logs you can see logs. If you print a log, you can see from here the log, everything is deployed, any code is there is within our code or not, everything will be show here. And it is not deployed yet, wait for deploy. So it is event, it is deploying. Okay, deploying. Okay, server is started 2000. Okay, here we are using node version node 40. If you need to set up the environment to test everything is working or not. Okay, so it is deploying, server is live. Okay, let me test. This is coming, and okay, it is working perfectly as is live. Okay, so that is the process, and the domain name of each ontender.com, and you can also customize the your domain name. Here you can use a customized domain name. You can also take a service or domain name, and you can add DNS configuration, and you can access this your customized name. Okay, and if you go to the there is option. Okay, if you go to the Vercel, you can customize a domain name as well as that is like if you give a name uh, come here. Okay, we need to select the project coming here. Okay, we need to customize select, and there is option domain. Here you can change the domain name. Okay, you can edit here, and you can select if the domain name is available for you, then you can make this. Okay, that is live. You can access the long link from anywhere. That is, you can deploy this very easy. That is to deployment. And my experience is saying render is always is better performance than Vercel. For if your app is very heavy, then I always recommend you to use render.